Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the RNA podcast series. I'm joined today, or this afternoon, by David Erfley, the Junior Miner Junkie. He's here from California and we're sitting down in Vancouver at the Cambridge House Conference. It's, what is it? It's mid-May. It's 2 weeks earlier than usual, and I appreciate you joining me, David.
Always love talking to you, Kai.
Awesome. So it's the tail end of the show. It's Wednesday afternoon. Things are winding down. What was your perception? What was the overall mood here? Yes, it wasn't too busy, so that's one of the key takeaways. But what was you spoke to a lot of people, I did as well. What was the impression? It didn't seem overly depressing. Like, if people weren't down or the mood wasn't down, yes, gold crashed below $1,300, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, gold losing $1,300  2 hours before the conference started. That was held on a Tuesday instead of a Sunday. And it's 70 degrees outside. That combination kind of took the life out of the conference. But like you said, yeah, I've talked to some people, and they're not really down.
Yeah,
they're not really depressed. They're just. I mean, the interest is obviously not there in the sector. Crypto and pot's taken a lot of that interest away, and the GDX and the GDXJ are holding up really well. But a lot of these juniors are not, and I think that's probably going to continue into that FOMC meeting on June 13th.
Yeah. No, I gave a presentation yesterday titled Black Friday Discounts All Summer Long. And
yeah,
I think we're going to keep seeing that,
Yeah.
Unless we see a massive Black Swan event. I think that's what I mentioned as well. I don't see it happening yet. The only thing I could see happen is really an impeachment of the U.S. of your president, right? Of the U.S. president. Not your president,
it's not my president,
but the U.S. president. That could be a major trigger for something.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like Iran is priced in. Nobody cares. The only thing that sort of moved gold was actually South Korea. The peace talks, that was quite interesting because it sort of came out of nowhere for me, at least. Yes, you could follow it, but Kim Jong-un saying, no, screw it, we're not going to war. Let's make peace and exchange families, and they're meeting. It came out of nowhere a bit for me. But other than that, I don't see a lot of factors that could change that before Labor Day.
No,
the summer doldrums.
It's all about the dollar, Kai. The U.S. dollar continues to rise. The 10-year Treasury yield hit almost 3.1 yesterday. 3.2 is a major resistance level. It might go there if the dollar hits about 95, 96 level, but I don't think the dollar's going to go any higher than that.
It's not in the interest of the U.S. economy.
No. I mean, it's true. Every country needs a weak currency, and the US.
Germany, we're doing great at it.
Yeah.
We're holding everybody down, so we're doing really well. But Trump is trying to replicate that, right?
Right.
So, you had a well-attended presentation a couple hours ago. What was your main topic? What did you talk about?
The title of the talk was how to build and maintain a successful junior stock portfolio. And basically, it's about how I pick stocks, the do's and don'ts, and how to maintain it. And I have a checklist that eliminates many of the companies that are out there, which is what you need to have. You need to have strict guidelines of what you're going to invest in and what you're not going to invest in.
What are your top three guidelines? What are your top three checkpoints that you check, and soon dismiss?
Share structure is a big one. It has to have a tight share structure. Ownership in the stock, and management team.
Yeah. The obvious points.
Yeah, the obvious points. Yeah.
And one thing you mentioned to me as well, because at Orning we track the finance things, but you're based in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Finance for you are, for lack of better terms, a pain in the bum.
Oh yeah.
Right. So removing a ledger is terrible,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's one of the key issues or points of improvement that we could see. How do we make that easier for U.S. or international investors?
Well,
to participate?
The legend removal process is the big one. I mean, I can't sell something for 2 months after the hold comes off on a private placement. I have to wait another 2 months. And if if the market's really bad and you picked a dud and you want to get out, you can't.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you want to get out? It'll always come back.
It'll always come back, yeah.
but
on the flip side of that, there's been a few that I've done really, really well, so it stays intriguing. But I was talking to Brent Cook about it, and he feels the same way. He told me, things are so cheap right now, you don't need to do a placement.
What do you need the warrant for?
What do you need the warrant for, exactly?
And he's like, who mentioned it? Somebody else out of Toronto was like, why even issue warrants?
Yeah.
Because one key point you mentioned is tight share structure.
Right.
So you should be loving deals without warrants.
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So might as well buy in the
Exactly.
market.
It's the old story, you know. As a shareholder, you hate warrants, but as an investor, you love them.
Yeah, exactly. What was one of the key themes here at the conference for you? Like, what was the overall topic? Did you see a metal jump out at you? Like, you always have that one theme that sort of dictates it. I personally haven't seen one.
No.
For me, it wasn't. Nobody really talked about lithium. Cobalt was quiet. Yes, I met a couple of cobalt companies, but it wasn't the overlying theme.
Yeah.
Benchmark Minerals held a battery metals side conference within the conference, which was really well attended. I only counted a few empty chairs, but the overall.
Yeah.
There wasn't one. It's like usually it's like PDAC. I think it was zinc and nickel.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Before that, it was gold in general, like or lithium, cobalt. In January, it was cobalt.
Yeah.
At this, I haven't seen one. I haven't heard anything.
No, I didn't see one either. But the funny thing is I look on the schedule today when I get up in the morning and I saw the first panel at the main speaker hall was crypto versus pot. I mean, two things that we don't want to talk about.
At a mining conference.
They're the two things that are sucking the capital out of this sector.
Yes, exactly. No, it's.
So that's not something I wanted to attend. So I stayed in the room for a little while longer.
No, actually, I'm personally a bit bummed out that lithium and cobalt sort of fallen off a cliff here.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was the gateway drug to mining. Mm-hmm. That's how I saw it. Because we need a lot of new investors in this space, and the EV market or the battery metal space was attracting a younger, new crowd to the space. And now the lithium stocks are falling. Cobalt is not really attractive anymore. Where's the new money coming from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny. The weather outside yesterday was like 70 degrees. It's like the summer doldrums.
That's, by the way, 20 degrees Celsius for people living in the metric system.
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen and I use Fahrenheit.
No, it's like, as you can tell, we were having a lot of fun here. It's been a good couple of days. What are you going to do over the summer? What's your plan?
Well, I always take my family to Europe every year. We own an apartment in St. Petersburg, so my wife's family lives in Riga, in Latvia. So we go in there and visit with the family.
So you are selling in May and are going away?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I told my subscribers, look, this sector is going to break down because it's failed to break out, so it's best to build up some cash here and just sit on it for a while and wait to see what happens. Wait for better setups later. I don't think a lot of people are making money in any sector this year. It's been a very, very tough year for most people.
Gold has actually been one of the few metals that's actually been up.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it by looking at a lot of these stocks.
No, it's amazing. So, no, David, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure, it's great.
Have a great summer.
You too.
And if you see anything, say something. Like, what was it, the saying, I think, in the New York subway? See something, say something, right?
Absolutely.
So keep
always.
us informed.
I will.
I appreciate it, David. Thank you.